All right. All right. We're going. So we'll start with Eileen's method section. Any comments, suggestions that we can?
He uses I several times. So, I mean, I know that you can. I would probably want to mention that.
Does she have to mention IRB in her paper?
I think she should.
Why does her, like, do you think everybody should, or is just for her?
I think especially for hers because she's doing research on people. But I think for like I don't think I would need to mention it.
Oh, okay.
But like the other example papers never mentioned it.
Yeah, I was trying to find out if there was any. It seemed like people mention it in their. Did some people mention it in their presentation? I don't know. I don't know that I've seen it. I don't know. It does seem like I've seen someone talking about it, but I haven't noticed it in the paper yet. But I think it's debatable. I mean, she's sort of talking about permission that was granted from the public school. I don't know. Maybe it's worth noting. We can. Maybe she could explain why she did that. It's possible she saw it in a similar paper to hers. Any other thoughts?
When you're writing your method section, are you supposed to write in future tense or are you supposed to write in past tense?
I think you're supposed to use like what is it? You're supposed to use passive voice and past tense, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, this is the K-pop paper. Yeah, she jumps back and forth between tenses. I made a note of that. I think it sort of felt like she wrote it before she executed. She's sort of talking about it as if it's hasn't happened yet, but I'm thinking she needs to have uniformity there on. Yeah, this is the LGBTQ. The survey was chosen, so there's a lot of passive voice, past tense. Participants were asked about the degree. Other thoughts?
I think it'd be helpful if we had access to her survey when we were reading this, or just had an idea of what kinds of questions she was asking.
Yeah, good point. I don't know what her plan is for adding that in, or where she'll add that in.
Is that the result section? Is that her question?
Wait, what?
If you scroll a little bit more down, isn't that her questions? And the answers she got.
But don't we still have to show a copy of our survey?
I don't think you have to. You could add that in your appendix if you want to put it directly in, but that's not, I think we talked about this before. I remember Sam talking about like including parts of your survey that play a big part in your paper, but there might be parts of your survey that aren't important, or you didn't find them to be important parts of your overall research. Sam, do you think maybe if she included questions in her method, or maybe explain?
Well, I don't know about like word for word questions, but just explaining why she was asking the questions that she did, or where she's basing these questions from.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, did she base these on other research, other sources that she looked at? I was kind of waiting for her to address that. Let's see where we can. Anything else?
Mr. Wood, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, the way she put it out with her like, the answers for her surveys, do I have to do that? Because I have a survey too, but do I have to do that with all my surveys, like kind of how she did, or?
Say that first part again.
So in her method section with her table, sorry, no. Oh, I was looking at her results. Oh, that's why I was so confused. Okay. I was like, do I need to put that in too? Because that seems more like a results type of thing. Oh, my bad. My bad. I didn't see results over there.
Okay.
Her format, on page, at the end of page 7, she has a paragraph here. I could probably just fix it. And she has spaces between her paragraphs.
Yeah.
At the end, but this one doesn't. Should I just fix it for her?
Yeah. If you have access to that. Well, it looks like she spaced them all out. Maybe she wants it that way. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, Ellen.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's got it that way for a reason.
Yeah, I just did that for the last paragraph too.
Okay. Anything else? Any other questions or comments?
No.
All right. Let's go to Malika. Malika, can you tell us a little bit about your method section since you're here? You want and would you share? You can walk us through your paper. Kind of be in control of the scrolling. I'm on a call, puppy. Huh?
Okay, so at first I talk about the background of tourists to explain why I focused on Japan, Korea, and China. And then I talk about what's in the survey. And then I mention how the survey was translated, and also I got the permission of the restaurant. And then I mentioned what I did with the survey, so how the time period of my surveying period, and then the analyzation stuff came.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a question for like everybody for the format. Are you supposed to leave the whole page if you're done with that section? And when you're starting a new section, are you supposed to start a new page, or is that like just personal preference?
I think it's up to you mostly, but personally, don't start a new page.
Yeah, I think most. Yeah, it seems like most sample papers don't start a new page. It's just wasted space, in my opinion. I don't think you need to do that.
Malika,
Yeah.
I think that overall your method section is like perfect for yours, but just in terms of like what it has, except for that first paragraph. I don't think that belongs in your method section where you're talking about like the amount of tourists.
Okay.
Where would you?
I'm sorry.
Where would you suggest putting that, Sam?
Maybe the intro actually, because it helps give you grounds for your research. So there were this many tourists, and there's expected to be this many more. So you have relevance for conducting it on Saipan, and then it's also really easy for you to introduce where you're doing this research.
Okay.
That's a good recommendation. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I feel like I'm being really, really picky, but for this one, I just highlighted it. The font size is different.
That's Alan. We need your eye. You know, that's not. Don't downplay your importance there. The details are good.
I just saw it. I just highlighted it. I don't think I can comment on here. I'm not sure.
Anything else? Yeah, I just had the one question. Well, I had a couple questions, but one was just to get you thinking about I guess it's the second paragraph. I was wondering if there was a better way to organize this or have a chart. I don't know that it's necessary because you kind of hit everything in one sentence. It almost seems like a multiple paragraph, but again, I don't know that you need to elaborate on each section of your survey. But yeah, I was just wondering if bullet pointing or put it in a chart, just something to think about. I don't really have a suggestion for you other than that. But yeah, I felt like you walked us through the method. You know, the goal here is to be able to have a method section where anyone could come in and replicate your research. So clearly stating what you did and how you did it. I feel like you do that well.
Malika, can you give us access to like comment? I don't think I can comment on here.
I'll just highlight everything and change the font to the same thing.
Like I have like other things that I feel like I could just kind of write it on there. You can just click and just fix it. You can do that later. It's not urgent.
Anything else for Malika? All right. Yeah, I feel good about this. Yours and Eileen's, I think, are in, with a little bit of work, a little bit of editing, they're in good shape.